Constitution. I'm taking a couple of weeks off, and I thank everybody for you know being with me today. Uh, it's really puzzling. It's really the Republican Party's identity has come into question for me several times. Are we truly on the right direction? Are we on the right path to winning back the White House? Are we on the right track to be able to take Congress with a wider majority? Um, are we able to get Republicans elected to local office? And everything has started to become really a question and not an answer. When Newt Gingrich came out with the contract with America, you either liked it or you hated it, but it was a commitment. And I don't think that the Republican Party has made a commitment to the people. And the commitment to the people is important. No speaker, no work. You're getting a paycheck because Matt Gaetz decided to take out the Matt Gaetz and the rest of, and the Democrats take out the speaker. Congratulations. What did it accomplish? What has it done for our party? Has it brought unity? No, because we can't get a man who took a bullet for our party. We can't get a radical right, Jim Jordan, elected. So you can't get Scalise from the middle. You can't get excuse me, from the traditional. You can't get Jim Jordan from the radical. I'm going to say radical, yes, because you guys go very far out there. You're going so far out there that it's scary at times. You take everything to the nth degree, and it's getting old. But what is the Republican Party? The Republican Party is the party of Lincoln. It's not the party of Donald Trump. It's not even the party of Reagan. And I'm a big supporter of Ronald Reagan and what he did because I grew up and that was my first time in politics because I really couldn't understand inflation, stagnation. Um, I couldn't understand all of the things that were going on during the Carter administration. But the Republican Party always impressed me because they were the party that got shit done. They didn't sit on their hands. They didn't bicker and fight. They got together and they said, what are we going to do? We're going to be the party of abolitionists. We're going to stop slavery. They did it. It caused a war, but it got done. The 13th Amendment, the amendments that gave black people their rights, their equality, their women's suffrage. The Republican Party was there for women's suffrage when the Democratic Party wasn't. Why? Because we felt that everybody should be able to vote. Everybody should have a say in our government. Civil rights. Republicans had always supported the civil rights. It was in 1958 that Eisenhower tried to get it passed, and Democrats blocked it. It wasn't until Lyndon Johnson, and because Lyndon Johnson all of a sudden has a change of heart, or what happened? We are the party that does things and then we give it up. We don't claim the fact that, Well, it sounds bad. You freed the slaves, but you're a different party. You switched. Well, what switch? If you're a person of faith and you're part of the Republican Party because you're a person of faith, where is your faith in the people? Sure, you're telling everybody that this is bad. You got to do this. You got to do this. When do we start telling people what to do? We didn't want them to put masks on us and force us to have masks, but we're going to want to force people to not be able to access a library for literature that you've decided doesn't meet the criteria. It's we're become the party of hypocrisy. We've got to get back to the party of unity, and we got to start fighting. We got to start fighting, not amongst ourselves, but fighting a good cause. What is our cause? Tell me. Is it to protect Donald Trump? No, I can't go there. Yes, I can agree with you. This is, the stuff that's going on. It's feels personal. It's terrible, but it just didn't happen. If you give the opponent an opening, they're gonna take the shot. It's football season, everybody. Just because you didn't get in the end zone doesn't mean you haven't. Doesn't mean you have lost. You still have one shot on the foot of your kicker for 3 points. There's always an opportunity. Soccer, I know America's finally getting a little bit more into soccer, but soccer is a game of you know, inches at times. The goaltender has a huge area to protect. So think about it. You're the goaltender. Republicans, you got to be the goaltender. You got to be that person that says, you know what? Yes, I believe this, but the Constitution says freedom, freedom of the press. Yes, you may think that every single person in the press is liberal, but they're not. But people are starting to gather that way. Networks are starting to become political party activists, and our politicians are actors. They are now actors. They now want to be on television more than they want to do their job. I'm tired. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch Newsmax. I don't watch something that I already have the answer. Look, when something happens, I most of the time, the majority of the time, I agree with you. But then when I start talking about it and you start talking about it, it comes out in totally different directions. Think about it. Traditional Republicans aren't abandoning you, you're abandoning them. I walk my neighborhood and I talk to Republicans all the time, real Republicans, and there are very few that think like you. Very few that are that attached to a person. They want to see lower taxes. They want to see, they want to see inflation under control. They want something that they want results, and they're not getting it. And locally, wow, we've got it's eye opening. It's eye opening. We now have Seminole County fight racism in Seminole County. I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time with, you know, where the party is right now. You know, I appreciate Bruce Cherry's reaching out and saying and clarifying his position. I thank the vice chair also for her clarification. But we're in an area that's quite strange. We have put so much pressure as a party on the supervisor of elections. We have scrutinized the supervisor of elections, our own supervisor of elections. He's a Republican. And we have treated him like shit because every single person thinks that the vote was stolen and this and that. Look, Donald Trump won Florida. Okay? Do you get that? He won Florida. Your fight is outside this state. It's not with your supervisor of elections. It's not with our elections officials because they're doing their job. Now, you want to talk about the Democrats and some of the things they do? We won Florida. There's no reason to go after Chris Anderson or Bill Cowles here in Central Florida. They didn't do anything wrong. And if they did, we already know about it and they've already addressed it. What more? You just keep finding things to complain about. I have never been in a party. I've never been in the party where we have committees that go after our own politicians. Because all you have to do is talk to them. All you have to do is have a conversation. But no, we go in with our hardcore, gotta find all these things that are wrong. Well, I'm glad you're perfect. And I'm glad when I'm in that room, I know I'm with all the perfect people in Seminole County. Because when we're with the Seminole County Republican Executive Committee, we must be perfect. Because we know that the supervisor of elections is not doing his job right. We understand that that our county commission isn't showing up for the canvassing board. But we also know technically if they endorse a fellow commissioner, which 3 of them are on the ballot, they can no longer be on the canvassing board. So whoever's been selected, you know what? Your right to support your friend is gone because you have to be on that canvassing board because SecRec read it and they want to enforce it. That was what that meeting was about. So, Chris, you can just relax because the meeting had nothing to do with you other than the fact that they don't like you. They don't like what you've done with the canvassing board, but they think that if the commissioner was there, if the commissioners had showed up, that something miraculous would have been different. But it was the law, and they want to enforce the law because we are perfect. We are so perfect. You know, the Democrats are so wrong on everything, right? I'm starting to question that. We can't even figure out what the middle is anymore because we're so far out there. We have a committee on voter integrity. Really? Yes, we do. We have a committee on life because we no longer accept that somebody in our party might disagree, may only want 15-week protection. No, we have to make sure the party has clear understanding that we're pro-life. Because you know what? We're perfect. We must be. Because we're a party that says we want to bring life in. But if you break the law, we want to kill you. Because the Bible says so in the Old Testament. Really. I mean, I've always been, I believe in the death penalty, but it needs to be clear. It needs to be 100%. And it can't be. Unless it's clear. And any mistake is a mistake. Am I leaving the fact that, the death penalty never been my issue? Abortion's never been my issue. I became a Republican because you guys in the Republican Party believed that the money that we earn should be spent by us and we should make the decision on how it's spent. We should know that we want to give to our church because we want to give to our church. We don't want our money being given to somebody else in something we don't agree with. Lower taxes. If you lower taxes, people have more money to spend. They spend more money, you get more tax revenue. That was what the party was. That's what the party should be. The party should be focused on the economy. It should be focused on the things that we can get done. We allowed the Democrats to get the transportation bill that Donald Trump tried to get passed. You all get so angry at the Republicans that voted for the transportation bill, not knowing that that bill, if passed by the Republicans, if getting the Democrats on board and passing it under Donald Trump, wouldn't have had all the woke crap you guys talk about. Woke go broke. Okay. Well, explain why we have to be focused and be embarrassed. That's what Republicans are telling me right now. They're saying I'm embarrassed with some of the stuff that was happening in our party. And it all starts with feeling grimy, grubby, and trying to make sure that January 6th wasn't a reflection of our party. Guys, I'm done. I'm done defending the indefensible. I mean, if you break the law, you break the law. I'm sorry. That's what we said. Donald Trump was going to, lock her up. She was doing something wrong. Well, she never got locked up. She didn't leave herself wide open. She didn't take confidential, top secret information that we know of and store it in an unsecure location. And we defend that. We defend that because we have to find a way to make sure that this is only being done because it's Donald Trump. Guys, would you have done it? Does it make sense? I remember a line, if it doesn't fit, you must have quit. You guys make things up that are so complicated. If it has to be that complicated, it's not getting done because there's not enough smart people. Every conspiracy theory has to grow because it has to find new links to the web. It's a spider web. If you finally ask yourself, with all these conspiracies, we're allowing the government to take more control. As Republicans, we're allowing the government to take over more control. We want less government, but we keep building on the government we have. We keep adding to it because of our fear. I don't know. Is it because we didn't have a convention that we couldn't, where is our platform? Our platform is a guide to where we want to go. And it's not even clear anymore. I am a hardcore Republican. I am not wishy-washy on anything that I believe. Yes, I believe the same things you do, but I don't believe you go about it the right way without thinking. And I think that our logic has left the building and our emotions, our feelings are embarrassing. because we are doing things we've never done before. Love me, hate me, just blow up at me. I don't care. But this is the morning constitution, and I thank you for tolerating me for this moment of time.